obviously, there's a lot of smaller opponents that he would definitely not really work with on the pay-per-view deal. I probably shouldn't have put Eric Rowan in the Elimination Chamber. I probably should have maybe put Luke Harper in there. I think it would have made more sense. But you've given Dolph Ziggler a good heel run, something that's different, something that he'll definitely want. We've given a great feud between him and Rusev with a very interesting storyline to it. And you've also given him something else to look forward to, and that being the United States Championship. John Cena and him could battle for maybe months and months because I think those two have a great chemistry with each other. And it could build up to maybe having, if Cena stays healthy, have him versus Cena at WrestleMania for the United States Championship. I think that would actually be a really good matchup to have. But that is how I would book the year of Dolph Ziggler. Alright, so ever since 2013, I want to say it was. I think it was 2013. Yeah, it should be 2013 if I'm not mistaken. Payback has started as basically an Illinois CM Punk infested event, but has also left quite a bit of great matches that have definitely really been underlooked and definitely undervalued. And I think it's just one of those things where you need to look back on some of the good that happened at Payback. And Payback this year looks to be very promising. I mean, you have a House of Horrors match between Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt for the WWE title. You have Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho for the U.S. title. Winner goes to SmackDown, loser goes to Raw. That's a very interesting match stipulation, but in all honesty, there's... I don't know. But I am going to talk to you guys about 10 matches that you definitely should look on the Payback history and definitely give them a little bit of credit because these are the top 10 matches, in my opinion, are the best of the Payback events. So starting off at number 10 was Natalya versus Charlotte in last year's Payback for the Raw for the Women's Championship. Now I know a lot of people are of course going to say that this was basically a giant middle finger to Bret Hart, especially with the ending. But, for the most part, the matchup was still really good. I mean, Natalya is definitely one of those people that a lot of people really just don't give full credit to. She's just a tremendous athlete. And having her versus Charlotte in the first event after WrestleMania was a bit of a disappointment because I think we all wanted to see Charlotte versus Becky or Charlotte versus Sasha. But having Natalya on there definitely really was a game changer. And, the ending still left a lot of people thinking, well, what just happened here? And you can't blame the fact that they also capitalized on the whole, Ric Flair, Charles Robinson relationship. I mean, Little Nate, come on. It's really cool that they actually incorporated that into the story. So, in all honesty, you guys, this was not a pretty bad matchup. I do hate the fact that it was feeling like a giant middle finger to Bret Hart. But in the end, who got the last laugh? That would be the Harts over the Flairs. So, in all fairness, it wasn't all that bad. All right, number 9. The United States Championship matchup in 2014, pitting the United States champion Sheamus against Cesaro. Cesaro, back in 2014, that was also your year. I mean, you looked at everything that he did early on in his career. He was a part of the Real American, was it Real Americans? He and Swagger were a great tag team. He pinned Randy Orton on an episode of SmackDown. He had a great, impressive showing in the Elimination Chamber match. He won the first ever Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and he became a Paul Heyman guy in just a matter of months. This was just an awesome year for him, and this was probably the first of the many speed bumps that didn't need to happen. But the matchup itself was just really good. Cesaro definitely showed that he could be a big-time brawler, and he could take it to the Belfast Brawler. He definitely could show that he was a top-tier contender when it came to the United States Championship, but also just being an upper-carder guy. The ending was the thing that really caught me by surprise, where Cesaro was doing the swing, which was what everybody wanted to say. We want to see the swing. We want to see the swing. He's the king of swing. Let's see him spin everybody around for like 30 seconds or 20 minutes or, and just, how it ended with him doing the swing for maybe, I think it was like 30 seconds, and Cesaro lost his balance. Sheamus did a roll-up for the 1, 2, 3. nobody really came out a loser in this matchup. I thought that they both did a great job, great storytelling, and it just made a little bit of sense. I really wish that Cesaro would have walked away with the championship, but at the same time, he definitely really showed that he was definitely going to be one of those top-tier guys that everybody needed to keep their eye on. Number 8, the triple threat match for the IC title at the 2013 event, that pitting Curtis Axel versus The Miz versus the champion at the time, the King Wade Bad News Barrett. So this matchup was very, very underrated. I think a lot of people definitely have forgotten that this matchup was actually really good. It pitted two heels against a babyface in The Miz. Probably the only time The Miz would ever be a babyface. But he definitely found a way to make it work. The fans were still definitely really behind him. Curtis Axel became a Paul Heyman guy, and then he was inserted into the matchup after Fandango suffered a concussion. And then Barrett, of course, was just Barrett. He was just awesome. This matchup itself was pretty good. All honesty, this was just one of those matches that I looked at and I thought, wow, this is a great way to start a pay-per-view. And the ending, again, was another shocker deal. Because how many times do you see somebody locking in a submission maneuver and then the third guy thinking, you know what, I'm just going to get on top of this guy and I'm going to pin him. 1, 2, 3. No problem. I mean, there's been very few times where that has actually happened. I think the last time I saw that was a triple threat match between Benjamin Flair and RVD. I mean, that was a long time ago, too. That was probably 2005, 2006, if I'm not mistaken. It was just a really cool ending. And for Curtis Axel to win not only the Intercontinental title, but to do it on Father's Day, you had to know that his papa, Kurt Hennig, was looking down with a big smile on his face, representing the IC Championship very proudly. It was a great moment for Curtis Axel. Definitely could not pass this up on the list. Number 7. Bray Wyatt versus John Cena in a last man standing match at 2014. A lot of John Cena matches were, I mean, the matchup, 3 stages of hell between him and Ryback was very underwhelming. It just was really weird. The match that he had, of course, with Rusev, it was just one too many matches that they had at pay-per-views. It should have been stuck to 3, but they decided, oh no, let's do one more, just see how this I Quit match worked. It just was, ugh. But the matchup and the storytelling between John Cena and Bray Wyatt was very well done. I didn't like the fact that Bray Wyatt lost at WrestleMania. I think it should have been the other way around, where Bray Wyatt won WrestleMania and then Cena won at Extreme Rules. Maybe even have, Bray Wyatt win back-to-back. Get inside John Cena's head. That would have been really awesome. But this matchup, regardless, was just very damn good. And the fact that they included not only the Wyatt family, but also the Usos, definitely made for a very interesting matchup, because it not only evened the odds between John Cena and Bray Wyatt, but it also made the Usos look like pretty good stars, in all honesty. And of course, Eric Rowan and Luke Harper, they were just monster. It was just a monster team. Of course, that would evolve into the Wyatt family versus the Usos in just a tremendous match. I think it was not only the Money in the Bank, but also the Battleground event. But the matchup here between Bray Wyatt and John Cena was very good. The storytelling was just great, where, again, Cena was just a little bit intimidated by Bray Wyatt, but in the end, John Cena got his win, and he picked up the victory over Bray Wyatt. Was he buried? At this point, he was about 3 feet under. Thankfully, he still found a way to survive. Number 6, the 2 out of 3 falls match for the tag team titles, pitting Cesaro and Tyson Kidd against the New Day. Man, oh man, have I forgotten how good of a wrestler Tyson Kidd is, and how great of a heel team the New Day could be. Honestly, this matchup was just so damn good. It definitely showcased not only Tyson Kidd and Cesaro as being one of the greatest teams of our generation, but definitely also showcased the fact that, New Day, even as heels, they could be comedians. They could be funny. They could be serious. They could be amazing. And how the match ended, where Kofi Kingston got thrown out, Xavier Woods says, hey, I'm just going to roll up Cesaro. He's not going to notice because we basically have the same tights, whatever. I mean, it definitely showed, again, that New Day could be tremendous heels. And Tyson Kidd and Cesaro, they definitely showcased just amazing resiliency and amazing integrity in this matchup. Unfortunately, Tyson Kidd, a few weeks later, would have to deal with the injury that would eventually end his career. But at the same time, it's more positive to look at all of the good stuff that Tyson Kidd did, and this matchup was definitely on the top of his list. Number 5, Dolph Ziggler versus Alberto Del Rio for the world title at the 2013 Payback. Now, a lot of people might think that this matchup should not even be on the list, but really it's the storytelling that really gets me. Dolph Ziggler, of course, coming in as the heel champion, thinking that he is the best in the world. He beat him, and Del Rio's just trying to win the title back. During the matchup, though, Del Rio just goes viciously for the head, and people obviously did not like that. They were saying the man has had a concussion. Why are you trying to concuss him again? Del Rio's just like, I don't care. I'm winning back my title. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. Again, it proved two things in this matchup. That A, they can do a double turn, no problem, but it also that Dolph Ziggler just kept being a resilient champion. He kept fighting back and fighting back and fighting back, just selling the hell out of these kicks and just selling the fact that, hey, Dolph Ziggler is getting his bell rung by Alberto Del Rio. It just was one of those matches that really, really stood. I don't know if I would say it stood the test of time, but it definitely shocked a lot of people, especially with the ending where he got super kicked 1, 2, 3 and lost the title. And unfortunately, that was where Dolph Ziggler started going back down in the downward spiral. Why, God, why? Oh, Del Rio's champion. Crap. Number 4, CM Punk versus Chris Jericho at the 2013 Payback. Speaking of Chicago natives, CM Punk was definitely still on the verge of deciding, I don't know if I want to be here anymore, but this matchup here was probably one of the main reasons why he decided to come back, because him and Chris Jericho have a great chemistry. The crowd was just always eating it up. They loved everything that they did. They even got to do a couple new moves, a couple of MMA-style moves, to be honest. This matchup was probably, I would say, out of their matches, I would say probably in the middle. I think it was probably the second best match. I think the Extreme Rules matchup was probably number 1. This would be number 2, and I think the WrestleMania match would be number 3, in my opinion. This matchup, again, just really showcasing how CM Punk and Chris Jericho are indeed the best in the world, and just showcasing that they definitely know how to steal the show because they are amazing. The good old days. Number 3, Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles at last year's Payback. Oh man, our good boy Roman Reigns, the WWE champion, defending against AJ Styles. Everybody was thinking, oh boy, this is going to be a burial of AJ, isn't it? Not really. We got not only 2 match restarts where we got a no disqualification, no count-out matchup, but we also got some great wrestling from Roman Reigns. This is where Roman Reigns started to really look good as a champion and as a wrestler. And it's all thanks to AJ Styles. AJ Styles even made himself look great against Roman Reigns. I mean, oh my gosh. Now, despite the fact that the club and the Usos got involved, this matchup still had a lot more ups than downs. And it definitely deserves to be on this list very high up there. The ending with Roman Reigns hitting the spear on AJ Styles was still a very pivotal moment, and one of those moments where it's like, oh wow, that just looked brutal. It was a great matchup, definitely worth watching. Number 2, the Fatal 4-Way matchup between Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns for the WWE title at the 2015 Payback. Spoiler alert, all 4 of these guys are going to be in the number 1 pick, so you have to know what that's going to mean. But the Fatal 4-Way matchup between these guys was basically a dream match because everybody wanted to see the Shield just fighting against each other. Well, not only did we get that, but we also got Randy Orton involved in the mix, and it was perfect. They even threw in J&J Security and Kane just as interference, but you know what? It didn't matter. Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose were just like, you know what? Screw you. We're just going to beat the living hell out of you. We saw the triple powerbomb on Randy Orton through the table, and then we saw Seth Rollins get Kane thrown on him by Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. And then Dean Ambrose and Roman are just like, oh, let's just fight each other, see what happens. Just a really good matchup. And this is where we see Seth Rollins go from the curb stomp to the pedigree as his finisher. And Seth Rollins will go on to, again, have a very interesting up and down roller coaster title run. But this matchup definitely showed that he was definitely ready for the big time. And number 1, of course, you guys, is indeed the no-holds-barred elimination matchup pitting the Shield against Evolution at the 2014 Payback. Why would I ever have this matchup as the number 1? Because this matchup was amazing. 6 of the greatest stars that you could possibly ever have in the business. You have Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns on one side. Then you have Randy Orton, Batista, and Triple H on the other side. And what do you get? Instant magic. This matchup definitely showed a lot of just